Okay, so in today's video, we are going to check out the live chart and see what is going on in Algorand in like very short term. And I think we are actually very much close to the moment of big break on the upside. But before that, I'm going to talk about this tweet a little bit that says Algorand is collaborating with UN Development. And I'm going to tell you what are their plans and why I absolutely love this. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And as I was checking Twitter, I came across this very important tweet from Algorand Foundation that said they are now collaborating with United Nations Development. And I'm going to tell you why is that. You see, it's very easy for us to ignore what blockchain actually does and why is it so useful. Why is that? Because a lot of us are living, for example, in Canada, Europe, US, and in these countries, when you talk about transferring money, you can definitely make a solid argument for why it's very convenient for you to use the traditional banking system. However, when it comes to specifically some third world countries, the story is much different. You see, they don't usually have a good banking system, and if they do, their people usually do not trust that system. So what happens? They are looking to have some alternatives in order to save and also transfer their money. And it seems like that Algorand is really working to be active in that area. And I think I saw a tweet. It's actually right in here. Let's just do this. Okay. This is a company in Afghanistan, which I don't know if you're aware of it or not. They don't really have, based on the recent events, a good banking system. So what this company is working with Algorand in order to make it easier for their customers to transfer and also pay the bills. And again, it is very easy for someone like you and me to take this for granted and say that the blockchain solution is not really useful for us. Okay, maybe it's not useful for us, but that doesn't mean that this is not useful for anybody. No, for example, the people who live in a third world country, if they don't trust their banking system or their native currency, okay, then naturally they are going to need to save their money somewhere that their government doesn't have access to, and also in some other currencies. And in this case, I would argue preferably US dollar. That is why blockchain and also a stable coins is so important. And again, this is another very important reason for why I love what Algorand is doing in terms of stable coins. And because those are heavily regulated, people can easily use stable coins without pretty much any risks. Now, back to this tweet. I think there is definitely a great market in Asia and Africa for Algorand, and the fact that they are doing a collab with UNDP is definitely the right step towards that direction. And I was listening to their podcast, which came out, I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago, and do not take my words for it. Listen to this.
Even more. And I think one thing I want to emphasize about that for us as a foundation and for the Algorand ecosystem, this is not just we turn this sort of gift into something for UN and other organizations, but it's really also a business development opportunity for our ecosystem, because we get our projects in front of the UN organizations. And what does it mean? The UN are the ones that have connections to policymakers, to local governments, to regulators, to major enterprises and institutional clients locally that, for normal people, it's really hard to get into. So for us, it's really also a fantastic opportunity to widen the span and showcase the power of Algorand.
Okay, this is so important. Basically, they are testing the waters with UN development, and it seems like that it's actually working, and they are moving forward with this, which to me suggests that in the future, Algorand is going to be much more popular than already is. And for example, when you look at the number of addresses with some sort of a balance, you realize that Algorand in the whole crypto market at the moment stands at rank number 4 with more than 22.6 million addresses. So you see, it definitely seems like that a lot of people are using Algorand, and based on their business model and their path forward, it seems like that this trend is just going to continue in the future. And I fully believe that they are absolutely in the right direction. So overall, very much positive news in my opinion for the mid to long term. But what about the short term structures? Well, you see, in a lot of cryptos, I believe that in here we are having either an A, B, C zigzag, or maybe a series of 1-2s. However, in Algorand, I would argue we might be in a better position. Why is that? Because in this area, in this move on the upside in Algo, I just cannot find a solid 5-wave impulsive structure. Why is that? You see, the rules for a 5-wave on the upside is that we should not have, in a normal 5-wave, overlapping of the waves between wave 4 and 2, and this is the key in any kind of impulsive structure. Wave 3 right in here should not be the smallest wave. And based on that, let's zoom in more in here and see what is happening. And let me ask you this: how exactly are we able to find in this phase a 5-wave up? Am I going to say this is, for example, a 1, 2, and then maybe this is like wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5, and in this case, well, okay, wave 3 is definitely the smallest wave. Are we going to say maybe to about here, this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, and to about this point right in here is going to be our wave 3, and then correction for 4, another move up? Okay, in this case, wave 3 is not the smallest wave. However, in terms of the subwaves, we must be able to find a 5-wave up in it. And to me, this definitely seems like an A, B, C zigzag and not an impulse. That's why I believe there is a good chance in Algorand, if the bottom is in, we are having a correction structure which started from this high and not the highest high in here. And we can say maybe this is going to be, if I just take this one, either an ABC flat or maybe a WXY. And according to the bullish scenario, well, okay, this can be a wave 1, followed by that a correction for wave 2, and then we can get big move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5 in case that the bottom is in. Now, I want to be very clear. In the previous videos, I was saying if we take this low in Algo, it's definitely not going to be a bullish sign. And as you can see in this move, we have definitely taken this low, but I don't think that this is going to be as bad of a bearish sign as is in a lot of other charts. For example, if you go and check out Yasmin Coin's chart, I told you, I think in the previous video, specifically in this phase, we are having most likely a 5-wave on the upside, and taking this low to me meant that odds are we are dealing with an ABC zigzag. However, in Algorand, because again, this is not a 5-wave, I can still be bullish despite the fact that in the short term, we have taken this low. So again, I would argue we are still in a better position relative to some other cryptos in Algo. And if you want to argue the bottom is in, okay, I guess the only scenario that I can think of is this. This can be, let's just do this. Okay, 1, 2, and soon I would say probably in the next 12 to 24 hours, we need to see a sharp move up into wave 3, 4, 5, which on a higher degree, it's actually going to be into a larger degree wave 3, and then 4, and then 5. If the bottom is in, we want to see something like this happen in the near future. If the bottom is not in, then okay, we are probably going to continue our move down, but this is the key. I don't expect that this downtrend right in here is going to continue for so long. No, I think we are extremely close to the moment of a big break on the upside in order to start the next phase of the bull run. And this is not specific for Algorand. No, I think in Bitcoin and a lot of altcoins, we are having something very similar. So in terms of structures, I would definitely argue either the bottom is in or we are extremely close to our final bottom. And in terms of fundamentals, we talked about it earlier. I believe what Algorand is doing with UNDP is absolutely brilliant, and it will actually pave the path for some bigger collaborations in the future. That's why I love Algo and I am heavily invested in it. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Algorand's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.